Hello, everybody.
Fire.
Fire, straight fire. Yeet,
Straight fire, bee.
yeet on my on my skirt. Skirt.
Oh,
Skirt. Hello. Hi, hello, and welcome to episode
Hola.
143 of the Game Brew Podcast, a bi-weekly video game podcast where we, bi-weekly, question mark?
We'll get back to it. We'll get back into it.
We'll get back into it, where we discuss video games and take nice, long mental health breaks so that we can be funny. I'm Dan.
I'm Chris.
And on this episode of the Game Brew Podcast, we ask the question, what are we excited for in 2023? But first, it's time for a bev. Chris, what are you drinking, my man?
Well, first I gotta wait.
You gotta wait.
But actually, while we're waiting, we can look up this really cool glass I got at MagFest.
Ooh. Does it have The Witcher on it?
Yes, so it's got The Witcher,
Nice.
and there's Siri, and
Nice.
then there's Yen.
Nice. Very cool.
So it's like an etched glass. Pretty
That's
cool.
very cool. That is
I
very
enjoyed it
cool.
very much. But yeah, while I'm waiting for my phone to go down on my very poorly poured beer, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some good old-fashioned Coors Light.
Coors Light.
The mountains are blue. It's good for you.
So I think the Eagles are going to lose now because you're not drinking the right beer. Shouldn't you be drinking Yingling?
I do love Yingling, but so the reason I have Coors Light, let me tell you the reasoning. So during the holidays, Christmas, everyone gives everyone beer. We've got all these like fancy beers with all the fancy flavors, and they're all like Christmassy, and they're all double, triple IPAs, imperial stouts, crazy things. On New Year's Eve, so not like New Year's Eve, but
the 30th.
But the 30th, we go to my friend's house for a birthday party because his birthday's on New Year's Eve. So it's like we call it.
I know multiple people. It's kind of cool, but it seems like it also kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. So basically, we count down to his birthday on New Year's Eve by doing a New Year's Eve party. And the thing that he has always requested for us to do is we do a power hour. And to do the power hour, you have to get a large quantity of shitty beer. And the shitty beer that they had was Coors Light. Now, not everybody drank the Coors Light, but I did, and they didn't want to keep it. So they said, here, Dan, we got this 30...
You just have a shitload of Coors Light.
Yeah, so I just had the rest of the Coors Light from December 30th. So, hooray. It's almost gone. I think I have like the last 3 in front of me right now.
I've never done either a power hour or a century before.
Well, you'd be surprised. Doing a power hour now, I used to throw up every year that we would do it. But I was also horribly emaciated, which I've noticed since I am not horribly emaciated anymore. Like I eat food, and
that's good.
And I am healthy now. So we did this year. I was like, oh, I hope I don't throw up. We did. I was like, I feel really good after doing 60 shots of beer in 60 minutes. It also helps if you do we were doing Disney songs, so we were all like singing songs and just having a fun time. We can do a power hour, Chris. We just get some Natty Boh. And then we'll do a power hour, you and me.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Or
just on like a Tuesday night.
Just on a Tuesday night. I'll come down to you. We'll play video games.
Awesome. How is it? What's the
Coors Light? It tastes like Coors high, extremely high. The chuggability is 47.
Off the charts.
Yeah, it cannot be measured in mere numbers. The chuggability of this beer. But it's good. It's also nice to not drink something that's just assaulting me with flavor. Like it's just it's a beer. Hey, you want to drink a beer? I'll drink a beer.
Sometimes you want some McDonald's. I think you just want.
I just want
to put trash in your body, and
I just want basically water flavored beer, or beer flavored water. Excuse me, and then that'll reset my palate so that whenever I have another type of beer, it'll be good,
Yeah, I'm on the other end of the spectrum tonight.
Tight.
I'm drinking a Flying Dog seasonal release. It's Cream Team.
Oh, is that the one that's Oreo?
It's cookies and cream flavored milk stout.
How? So you've tried it?
Yep, it tastes like a milk stout. I don't really taste a whole lot of cookies.
Yeah, it's not. I remember having that one. I wasn't super impressed by it. I was just like, it just tastes like a milk stout with a little more sugar in it than I'm used to.
Yeah, it has. It does get the cream part, but I'm not getting a lot of cookie.
Yeah.
I also don't know how you would do it, but like I do love cookies and cream anything. So like,
you just get cookies.
I could just get cookies and just mash them in there. But
muddle them in the bottom of the glass.
I'm also not like a huge stout person.
Yeah, it's hard to be a stout person because it's basically like drinking dirt, you know?
Yeah, or coffee.
Or coffee. I love coffee, so that's why I am a stout person. Because I do love coffees.
Yeah. But
not tea.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right, it's fine.
I do like Flying Dog.
I feel like we've had a lot of beers in 2022. I feel like we had a lot of beer that was just fine. I don't think we drank a lot of beer on the podcast where we were like blown away by
just rocks. Yeah. I mean, it could just be like maybe we do need to do a palate reset.
I think maybe in 2023 we should make a resolution to try and be better beer boys.
The other thing is
be better beer.
Be better beer boys.
Beer better beer boys.
I was very lazy, I think, in a lot of my choices last year, in that most of them were from Heavy Seas. So like
and mine was like, it was like, oh, I gotta get a beer. It's Sunday. I have to go to the one beer distributor that's close to me that really doesn't have anything. But here we go. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I go to Heavy Seas for trivia. So like.
So it's always there.
So it's always there. So yeah, it's usually my go-to. Which I mean, I love Heavy Seas. They're like a really good, solid brewery.
It is. I
actually prefer them. I prefer them to Flying Dog, I think. But
me too. I used to like Flying Dog a lot. I think the last time that I really liked Flying Dog was whenever was like 4 years ago. They had a summer pack that came out, and it had a bunch of spicy beers in it. And it was a limited release, and it was all spicy beers, and it was so good.
I remember that.
But it ruins your tanks, so you can't really do that a whole lot.
Because there's one brewery that has basically their flagship is a spicy beer, Jailbreak, in Laurel, Maryland.
Jailbreak.
Yep, it's called Welcome to Scoville.
Jailbreak Brewing. Yes, I'm 21.
But yeah, that's a solid spicy beer.
Let's see. They've got Clearly Righteous, Doubles, Feed the Monkey, Special Lady Friend, and Infinite.
Oh, are they not making they don't make
I'm telling you, it's one of those things where it makes your tank spicy, so it's hard to be like, here, it's spicy.
Yeah, because that used to be like their main beer. Wow. Very
interesting. So, hey, if you're out there and you know of a spicy beer that I should drink, please let me know. I love friggin' spicy beers.
They had a Berliner Weiss called Miami Vice, which was really good.
Miami Vice, that's good.
Anyways.
That's good. I love that.
This is a video game podcast, not a beer podcast.
No, it's a beverage. Well, it's a beverage and video. It's the second half of the title. It's game brew. It's not game. You know. Welcome to Game Podcast. This is Game. I mean, we have two.
All right, hello, I'm Game.
I'm Game.
This is Game.
But yes, it is a beer and video game podcast. So let's talk about some video games we've been playing. Obviously, we've had quite a break in between the last episode and now, which I noticed today that it didn't upload correctly onto the
podcatchers.
Onto the podcatchers. So you haven't heard the last. It's possible you have not heard the last podcast that we did. It'll be out tomorrow whenever I re-upload everything.
Nice.
But it's it's great. There were audio issues in it, so it's not as good. But I'll put a preface because remember I was muted for the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Forgot about that.
It's a little weird, but it gets fine. But yeah, this is a game podcast. There's lots to talk about. So Chris, you do one and then I'll do one and then
Okay.
we'll keep going back and forth.
So I'm gonna air quotes winter break. I didn't actually have a break, but
Yeah.
around that time
Yeah,
when it was a
winter
little bit
break.
slower, and
Yeah.
I started playing a little bit of Greedfall.
No. Okay.
Have you played that?
What did you think of it?
So far, I've played about 10 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels very much like a double A game.
Yeah.
In that, there's actually some really good quest writing in it. That's probably the highlight of it is the quest writing.
I would agree.
The inventory management is trash.
It's garbage. Complete garbage.
The overall storyline's kind of okay.
Yeah.
But the individual quests are actually pretty good. They created a kind of interesting world. It's very New World esque.
Yeah, like it's new agey, not like it's like sort of like fantasy / steampunk Jamestown. It's weird because it's like it is it's a really unique sort of world to go into.
Right, and it's got some of the creatures that you fight are very Lovecraftian, with all their tentacles and such.
Ooh, tentacles.
Tentacles.
I lost one. So I'm only
it's
at
interesting. Nintacles. It's interesting. It's like all the beer that we had last year. It was good. It's good.
It's fine,
but it's not like best RPGs ever. But it's been scratching a little bit of an RPG itch for me.
Yeah,
nice.
it's I know because I talked to you about I fell into a hole where I don't have an RPG that really or a MMORPG that's really been really gets it's almost it's like I don't want to play WoW again.
But you want to play something
I want to play something as good as WoW, but I don't want to play WoW because I don't want to give them any more money. Right. Maybe we'll have to get out the Star Wars
SWTOR.
Yeah, the Old Republic and see.
Yeah, what I was gonna say. That's probably the best closest thing.
Yeah, because it's free. It's free, but doesn't have to be free.
Mm-hmm.
You get more stuff for not being free, but it is free.
Right.
So,
what about you? What have you been playing?
So I'm going to talk about this one. I played the Callisto Protocol.
Oh, okay, that's pretty new.
It's new. The Callisto Protocol is a survival horror action game, by Striking Distance Studios, published by Krafton. It was directed by Glenn Schofield, and he
worked on Dead Space.
Yeah, he was one of the co-creators of Dead Space. But the basic premise of the game is you're Josh Duhamel, and you are trapped in space, and then there's creepy stuff that happens. You can really tell that it's it's very Dead Space-esque. The way that it is, it's it takes place in a prison colony, so it's still tight hallways. There's an outbreak of some virus, so you've got all these kind of really gross alien things. The difference is that it's the way that you play the game is still you have your foot smash, you create weapons and craft weapons and stuff like that can take out these enemies. But the big part of it is that your main weapon that you find initially isn't a line gun. It's like a stun baton, like an electric stun baton that you can whack off limbs with. Whack off.
Kind of like the Surge?
No, still more like Dead Space. It's a little bit more brutalist because it is but there's a mechanic that's dodging enemy attacks. So when enemies are attacking you, you can dodge left or
is
dodge
it a quick
right.
time, or is it
no? It's it's based off of how you move the stick. Basically, it's you can't because they're coming at you. They're really trying to get you. So they're they get real up close and personal. So you can either move the left stick to dodge right whenever they're attacking you, or to dodge left whenever they're attacking you, you kind of get into this panic mode where you are backing away from them, so you don't always remember which way you're going because you can't do the same direction twice. So it's like if you dodge right and then you try and dodge right again, they're going to get you. And then you get hit. And of course, you have like... Bad. It's bad. It's bad to get hit, because it does still have the sort of like, the Dead Space, whenever you get killed by an enemy, a really gross thing happens to you where, your head explodes or they rip you into little pieces or stuff like that.
Right.
You may remember this game because they talked about they were developing it in 2019, saying it was going to be part of the PUBG like universe. You remember that?
Maybe vaguely.
It was like one of the things where they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be part of the PUBG universe. And then they were like, never mind. Never mind. It's the same thing. We got Josh Duhamel. We're good.
Yeah. I guess go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead. And I have a question, but it's like kind of more of a general question, but or I can ask it now. It's fine too.
Yeah, go ahead and ask it now.
So I mean, it's interesting that he's very Josh Duhamel is like very focused on, I guess, with like a lot of the marketing for it, and also like he's on the cover. Like it reminds me a lot of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
In that way, and it seems like more and more. I mean, I think there was one with one of the Call of Duties had like Kevin Spacey as something.
Oh yeah, that was back before the whole stuff, all the stuff came out.
Yeah, and then like there was one with Giancarlo
Esposito, yeah,
in Far Cry 6. Like, how do you feel about there being like actors basically?
I mean, I feel good
like that.
I think it's good if it's not done in a way that's like too ham-fisted, like I think with Death Stranding
it was a little over, like, because like there were ads for, I think, what's his name's other TV show,
Norman Reedus, like
Norman Reedus is like his biking,
his motorcycle show.
It seemed a little on the nose.
That was a lot, but like whenever it's like with Giancarlo Esposito in Far Cry 6, I mean, I love him, and he's
amazing. Yeah,
he's terrifying as a bad guy. So
he's a voice actor in some other thing too that he was.
So
yes, of course he has. But
the only thing I could say is that I think that it is a way to get people into like. I don't think I've ever seen anyone who's been like, oh, Josh Duhamel, I gotta play this game. I mean, I love Josh Duhamel. He did a great job. Unless I should be wrong. If I should be canceling Josh Duhamel, somebody please let me know. But I think he's great. I don't think there's any issues with him. I've been watching.
He was Faraday in Edge Runners. That's what it was. That I'm thinking
that's right. He was. I think I like that Josh Duhamel is kind of always. He's like associated with nerdy stuff, like in a fringe way, and like he's the coolest thing in.
He's like in Transformers.
Yeah, he was in the Transformers movie. Wasn't he in the TV show Las Vegas?
Yes,
I was gonna say, because that's like one of the
Crossing Jordan.
That's true. He was in Crossing Jordan. Because I just remember saying all the time that it was like, oh, Josh Duhamel, Josh Duhamel, the breakout star of TV's Las Vegas hit TV show. No, you don't know that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does a great job in this. The game itself, the story is pretty bleak, as you would expect from like a Dead Space-esque. I will say, like, comparatively, because you're going to compare these games. Like, anytime you have a Dead Space clone or anything that's like, it's like you're in space, it's scary, like Soma, any of that kind of stuff. You're going to compare things. And the Callisto Protocol was good. It was okay. I would not put it on the same tier as the Dead Space games, though.
Yeah.
It's probably closer to Dead Space 3.
More actiony.
Not in actioniness, just in the fact that like
qualityness.
Like qualityness,
Yeah.
Because Dead Space had a lot of things that kind of jumped out and surprised you. The Callisto Protocol had a lot of stuff that was kind of like I knew what to expect whenever
Sure.
it was coming up. Like, I was like, oh, this is probably the section where I have to sneak around, or oh, this is probably the section where I have to get ready for a big fight with these things. Or oh, this is the section where they show that they actually like transform into other things. It's kind
Hmm.
of like, okay, it's kind of, we took Dead Space, it's a cookie cutter now, and then here's the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, I enjoyed it. I did play it all the way through.
Was it long?
Um, it wasn't super long. I think it was a good. It was just about as long as it should have been. If it had gone
Okay.
any longer, I would have been upset. But
Nice.
but it like introduced characters that you were like, it was long enough that they were like, okay, it introduced character's gone. It's just a new character's gone. Here's this character. You kind of get the gist of everything. And of course, there's there's like little like audiobooks and stuff around for you to pick up and figure out the story and things that are going on in the past. But yeah, it's very good. Yeah, it was Josh Duhamel, Karen Fukuhara
I love
uh,
her.
was in it, and
Of Shira fame, of
yep,
course.
of course, and Sam Witwer was in it too. So very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool voice cast. You know.
Yeah. But because they also, I assume they also did mocap for it too, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's Josh Duhamel. Like the character's name is Jacob, but you're like the whole time I was just like, yeah, I'm just Josh Duhamel in
Yeah.
space. Josh Duhamel
Josh
delivers
Duhamel
stuff
in
in
space.
space, but then in jail, but then oh no. Yeah, so that's my
Cool.
second thing. Or that's the first thing I played. Chris, what else?
I played Raft.
Raft? Did you
Yeah.
like Raft?
I like it with friends. Like those types of like all those crafting games, I really don't enjoy by myself. But if it's with like other people,
Yeah.
I do have a good time with
Same. Same.
them. So Raft is basically you're on a raft in the middle of the ocean. I think there's a storyline where there's like a like every game, there's a post-apocalyptic something or other that makes it so
Mhm.
the entire
Mhm.
world's covered in water.
Yep.
So you have this hook basically that you can grab stuff and reel it in. So like plastic and wood and palm leaves and stuff, and then you have to like craft different things with it. And it's kind of like the standard survival crafting game after that, but you're on a boat,
You're on
and you constantly have a shark following you.
son of a bee.
We were playing it last night. It was me and two other friends, and we were getting to the point where we like every time we saw the shark, we would jump out and like go attack it.
Yeah, and try to
So
kill it.
yeah, so the hunter became the hunted. And
hunted.
you can
Yes.
like make little hats out of their heads, so we all had shark heads. But no, it was fun. We were getting to a point where like food was no
It's
food
like
was no longer a problem. But before that, like as long as you have a bed and someone dies of like starvation, you can just put them to bed.
yeah,
and
and
wake up.
they'll come back.
Yeah,
Like,
and so we were just like, man, you're being. It's like instead of grabbing a Snickers, you're being ridiculous.
yeah.
Just put him to bed.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good, guys.
I'm good. I'm good now. This is great.
I just needed a nap.
Gray says, "Don't forget the shark and jellies."
The shark and jellies. We saw one of the poisonous blow up fellows last night, which was fun. I got almost killed by that.
Poisonous blow up fellow.
Yeah, they're like little poison puffer fish that like you
Oh,
can
that's
try to
fun.
kill them to get like explosive stuff to make nets, like
Oh,
capture nets. We captured a goat last night right before we ended, which was awesome.
goats. Goats.
Um,
Goats.
but yeah, no, I mean it's a fun little game to do with friends.
Tight.
Yeah,
Tight. Very tight.
yeah. Don't have
I
much
feel
else
like-
to say about it.
Yeah. No, I feel like. Who do we know that plays Raft?
Carrie
Carrie
does.
plays Raft. I think that.
I know she likes those like she
Loves
likes
those.
7 Days to Die and
Yeah. Yeah. I just like Minecraft. That's my favorite one.
Minecraft's fun.
The next, what else have I been playing? I have been playing. I just started playing a game called Chained Echoes, which is like it's like a 2D game. It's like a 2D RPG, sort of like Chrono Trigger-esque.
Mm.
And in it, I was just playing. In the beginning part, there's a festival because there always is, in games that are like Chrono Trigger. There's always a festival. And at the festival, you could do a turtle race.
Was it
There's a
the
turtle.
Festival of Time?
It's not a festival of time. It's a festival celebrating 100. It's celebrating that 150 years of war is finally over.
Well, I mean,
Um,
it's kind of a Festival of Time because it's a celebration of a certain amount
it's
of
true.
years after a thing happened. So,
That is true.
and I
But
guess most festivals are that, aren't they?
yeah, yes, I guess so. But the reason I mention
Anyways,
that is because there's a turtle race that you can bet on at this festival, and all the music is fantasy music.
standard festival music.
But then during the turtle race, there's it's like a 15-second, like only while the turtles are racing, there's like a 15-second math metal track that,
That's
that plays.
awesome.
It's so I was just like I was playing and I was just like, what the hell just happened?
That is awesome.
Like if I could turn back time. Chained echoes. Maybe I can share it here.
Not without getting copyright struck, copyright stricken.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess this is like that was only one thing. There must be more of it because it says it's got mathcore band Zilf announced that they are partnered with this game.
Zilf.
Zilf, ZILF.
Don't just type Zilf.
That's
You
Zaddies.
don't know what you're gonna find.
Zaddies I'd like
Get
to
the zaddies and
feel. Zombies I'd like
zombies
to.
I'd like to fuck. Yeah.
The collaboration is melded in one of the mini games present with it positively.
Also, Chained Echoes sounds straight up like a mathcore song.
It does. It's on Game Pass, so you can play it there.
Was Callisto Protocol on Game Pass?
Callisto Protocol was not on Game Pass. I did.
You paid real money for that?
I paid.
Wow.
I paid real money for it because I did not anticipate it coming to any of the like pass things, just because of the nature of the company.
Mm-hmm. And you're a big fan of Dead Space.
And I was a fan of Dead Space, and I wanted to see what it was like because I'd been following it.
You've been following it?
It's been following it. MILF, man, I love frogs, is what Gray just said. But yeah, that was a happy little surprise.
Yeah, it kind of like that kind of quirkiness reminds me a little bit of the game where you're the memory people and like you're going to try to make this dying man's last
To the moon.
to the moon. Yeah, the part where like they have like that one battle section.
I
Like,
never
randomly?
I never played to.
You haven't played it?
I never
You should
played
play To the Moon.
I should.
You should one day when you need to cry, just go play To the Moon.
I don't need any help, Chris. I do it all the time. I'm a little.
Well, but
I'm just a little emotional. I'm a Cancer. That's just I wear my heart on my sleeve.
you're not a Cancer. I think you're a good person.
No. I'm my
You're not
astrological
cancerous.
sign is a Cancer. I'm a crab. I'm a crab.
You should move to Maryland. We love those here.
I love crabs.
We'll just eat you right up.
No, don't eat me. Don't eat me, Chris.
Awesome.
Anything else, Chris, that you've been messing around with?
So MagFest was last weekend, so I messed around with that. That was cool.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about MagFest. Tell me about how that was this year.
So this year we kind of had a different experience because we had like a really nice room.
I was gonna say, I feel like you guys got. I remember you
We had
talking about it.
We had like a 1,500 square foot suite. It was amazing.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah. So we had like an outdoor fireplace. We had a bidet. We had a shower with one faucet above us, and then 3 in front and 3 behind. So you could just stand there
You
like
just
this.
You get
blasted.
flavor blasted
blasted,
with
yeah.
water.
It had a jacuzzi. It had a full fridge. It had like a dining room table. Had a bunch of couches. Of course, there were mirrors on the ceiling because
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a fancy room like that.
And then we had an outdoor patio with like a fireplace.
Cool.
That like we could just turn the fireplace on.
Damn.
So it was really cool. So we spent a lot of time in our room.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like that's a lot of gaming time in the room there, huh?
Yeah, so yeah, we did a lot of board games, which was fun. We did a draft in our room.
Oh,
So
you did.
We did
Love it.
Unfinity.
Unfinity. What's
Yes.
Unfinity?
So Unfinity
Oh,
is a set.
I know what it is. That's very interesting because that's a set you can only play with itself. You can't use it with any of the other
Yes. So
like
it's
D&D stuff
the original
or
set.
Magic
Magic
the
the
Gathering
Gathering
stuff.
stuff. So Unfinity is, I guess, the third set of they're called Unglued, but basically they're kind of like joke sets.
Yeah.
And this one's themed around a carnival.
Mm-hmm.
You needed like tickets to ride rides and like get prizes and stuff. And
You can
sometimes the prizes were like adding stickers to your
yeah,
cards.
you had like
they would get
stickers that give
stronger.
you more effects and like more health and like
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff.
So it's just
Wild.
buck wild. Everyone starts with like 3 cards of stickers and like
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was a really cool draft to do. And it's like I would only want to play that set as a draft.
Yeah.
Because
you
otherwise
couldn't
it's just wild.
Yeah, because you can't. Like once you do it, you're like, okay, I did it. It's
Yeah,
done.
the sticker's on there. You're not going to
I
take the
can't
sticker
take it
off.
off. I can't take it off. I'm done now.
So that was a lot of fun. We played the Blockbuster game, of course. Have you played the Blockbuster game?
I haven't. And here's
It's really good.
I mean, I would love to play that game.
Oh, because
Hannah doesn't know anything about. Like she's slowly getting to know
there. Yeah.
movie stuff as I've actually gotten her through almost all of Arrested Development now. We just watched because I was like, this is a really funny show. And she was like, in the beginning, she was like, oh, this is kind of funny. I'm like, just wait, because it compounds in funniness you keep watching it. The inside jokes.
They're like referential humor kind of thing.
It's so self-referential. Like the fact that none of them know what a chicken sounds like. Cha, chi, cha, chi. He's like, has none of you ever seen a chicken?
But so that was fun. We saw 8-Bit Big Band.
I saw Katie put some like things on Instagram.
If you folks out there haven't heard 8-Bit Big Band, go look up go look them up, and go look up Bob on Battlefield. Man, that thing slaps. It was so good.
That's a great song in general, and then
yeah,
tight.
No, they were crushing it. Heard our buddies Triforce Quartet. They came up to the room and hung out with us for a little bit too.
Nice, cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
I miss them. I need to remember to tell you I need to remember to tell you to say hello to all of the friends that I don't get to see all the time.
The friends,
all the friends. Because it was
you made it along the way.
All the friends we made along the way. No, because our holiday got extended by a week, like our Christmas season. You know how it's like it went Christmas, a weekend of Christmas, a weekend of New Year's, and then nothing, right?
Right.
Instead, it was a weekend of Christmas, weekend of New Year's, and then more Christmas. So it's fun. It was fun. So
super fun.
No, but we took down the tree almost immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as it was all over, we took it all down yesterday. We were like, finally. Don't need it anymore. Sorry, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else.
What was the group costume that you did?
We didn't really do one.
Oh no.
Allison and Fee did 2 characters from Demon Slayer.
Nice.
Katie and Matt DeBeal, one of our friends that were in the room, and 2 other people that they know did went to one of the jam pods and read through some string quartet music, which was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Erika Ishii was there, so we saw her and got
Very
a picture.
Cool. One of the coolest people to exist.
She's amazing.
She really is. She's just like hip and cool. And it's just like, I wish I could be that hip and cool.
Yeah, we never will.
We never will be. We're old now.
So she's the voice actress that's Valkyrie, I believe, in Apex. She's also
is
on
she?
a lot of. She is. She's also on a lot of Dropout TV stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know her from Dimension 20 and Dropout.
What else? I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. But
there's a lot of stuff. We can hit back on it.
It's a whirlwind of a weekend.
As you remember it. If you you sent one picture in the Discord, and I was like, oh, maybe he'll send more pictures. You sent no more pictures.
Oh, I'm actually gonna send one right now.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's a good one.
I can't look it up.
These fellows. So it's the villagers from Minecraft that were just there was a bunch of them that did a group cosplay, and they're all just hanging around one of the merch areas.
Hold on, I gotta open it up on my phone because if I
Um,
go on here,
yeah. Oh, and we saw.
Oh, nice.
So the theme of the weekend was Super Smash Brothers. So there's the punching bag from Smash.
No, poor guy. He looks so tired.
Let's see what else there was. The Danny DeVito shrine was huge this year.
Nice.
So there's always a shrine to Danny DeVito for whatever reason, because I guess he deserves it, and I really hope he's aware of it.
I don't know. Maybe he is. I did see there was also a Brendan Fraser shrine.
There was, yeah.
That someone had posted.
I have a picture of that as well, and I'll keep posting more pictures. I need to keep posting more pictures. For those who are listening, I'm posting these to our Discord in the Goofin chat area.
Goofin category.
Hashtag Goofin.
Hashtag Goofin. bit.ly/disco brew.
Disco brew. Yep, I was getting there.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm too fast.
Too fast, too furious.
The best.
Yeah,
one.
so that was one of the biggest, one of the main things I've been doing recently, I guess, with video games.
Nice.
It was cool.
Very cool.
Wish I could go back again and live there forever.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. This year during that time, I had you remember how whenever I was there, I guess it was 3 years ago. Whenever we all went,
it was right before the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I was there, I had like awful heartburn the whole time. The same thing happened. Like as soon as it would have been the time that I was we would have been there if we had gone, I would have had this. I had the same like really bad acid reflux. So I don't know if it's just the MagFest weekend.
Or maybe it's the power hour that you do a couple days before.
Probably that. It's probably that. Which is why I don't do it anymore frequently. But anyway. We do want to say happy 2023, everybody.
Happy 2023.
Happy 2023.
Everybody.
If you listen to the McElroy's podcast, they have named the year 20 Fun at Sea. Surf the Vibe.
That's cool.
Which, if you don't listen to my brother, and me, and you listen to podcasts, you're doing something. You're making a mistake. You got to listen to it because it's basically the first and greatest of the funny podcasts. It's just three McElroy brothers talking to each other and solving problems. They solve. It's an advice podcast. It's not an advice podcast, but you should listen to it. They always name the year, and this year it's 20 Sun and Sea. Surf the Vibe.
That's awesome.
But ours, we don't do anything like that. Instead, we talk about the video games. Sometimes we make predictions. Last year, we decided to just say what we were excited for coming up in 2022, in the year of 2022, and how we did. Let me pull that up real quick.
Oh yeah, what were we excited for?
So in 2020,
I was excited for Warhammer Total War 3.
Here we go. So we had things that we were excited for in gaming in 2022. Total War Warhammer 3. That was something Chris was excited for. Yep. We were all excited for Elden Ring to come out.
And we were right.
And rightfully so. It was great. It was an amazing game. You know, it won Game of the Year. So did it win Game of the Year? I forget. I already forget.
Mostly.
It
was like that, split between that and God of War Ragnarok.
Right. I was also excited for God of War Ragnarok, which also slapped. Horizon. Yep, go ahead.
I was excited for Starfield, which didn't happen.
That did come out. Nope. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
It was okay.
I haven't played it. I still haven't beaten Sword, so
it was fine.
Forbidden West or Forbidden West. Haven't played it.
I'm sure it's. I think it was good.
Yeah. But, Company of Heroes 3. You excited for that?
Didn't come out.
Didn't come out. Hogwarts Legacy again. That also didn't come out.
Didn't come out.
And Dying Light 2 again. I was excited for that, and it did come out. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the first one.
It was fine.
It's fine.
That month was wild though, dude.
There were so many games that came out.
Because that came out, and then I think Lost Age,
Lost Ark.
Lost Ark came
Lost Ark
out,
came out.
and then Warhammer Total War 3 came out, and
Oh my
then
god,
Elden Ring came out.
it was so many. That was a lot of stuff that came out all at
Yeah.
one time.
Also,
Man,
I
I
was
love
playing
Prox.
Satisfactory and Control a year ago, and I can't believe it's been already a year since I played Control. That game was great.
I was playing lots of stuff apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, Halo. I was playing. That was the week before. And then the week before that, you had signed up for Game Pass and discovered the greatness of that. So
I realized I was wrong.
I've been wrong. I've been wrong the whole time.
I've been wrong the whole time.
The whole time. Great. But
I
yeah.
bet you can guess 2 things I'm excited for.
Oh, I know.
Oh, 3. Fuck it, 3.
Well, here's the thing. So, are you still excited for Hogwarts Legacy?
I kind of am.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited for it.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm
Like, I mean, it's one of those dream games of like people wanted an open world Pokemon. People wanted like an RPG Harry Potter experience.
Yeah, people want to be in Harry
People
Potter.
wanted that, and like
It is. The only thing that I really wish is that it wasn't associated with that transphobic, awful person who created the series. You know, I don't want them to.
I mean, you can't really have it one without the other, though.
I know, which is the worst part. You know, it's because I don't like that person. But
this terrible person created this amazing universe.
Yeah, that we all are, and it's just so it's hard for me to put the two things apart. But I think I will have to see what happens with the game. What have you been following any of the stuff about what it's going to be about and what you're going to do?
I mean, I know it's set in like a much earlier time of Hogwarts history. Like, it's not like modern day Hogwarts. Like, it's not Harry Potter's time.
Right. Yeah. It's like pre-Voldemort times, something like that, right?
Which is cool. I think that's kind of it's kind of like it's kind of like KOTOR in that way. So they have a little more freedom.
Wizards of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
WOTOR.
WOTOR.
WOTOR. WOTOR.
Hodor.
Hodor.
Oh.
Oh.
Still too soon?
It's always too soon for Hodor.
Yeah. That was sad. I rewatched that this year or last
year. Same. We started rewatching
also, it. So was sad. Yeah, I mean, I'm my only concern is that it's like a very inexperienced studio that's doing it.
Right.
It's Avalanche Entertainment, not Avalanche Studios.
Right.
Which are 2 different things.
Do you remember
the 21st of September?
The 21st of September. There was a game that came out on mobile. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's a Harry Potter game coming out to mobile."
And it was like Pokemon Go and sort of like Ingress and
kind of like that. But before that came out, a different Harry Potter game came out to mobile that was terrible.
Sure.
It was like one of those like games where you had to pay money to keep doing it.
Yep,
I forget. And everyone started playing that first because it came out, and there's just like with this stuff, it's like I think I think I have that worry too, where it's like if it's an offshoot developer from a developer that we like, is it going to be good?
Right.
Or is it going to be like the THQ Nordic whenever the Darksiders spin-offs happen? Like there was Darksiders, which was great. Darksiders 2,
which was pretty good.
Which was really great because it was open world. And then Darksiders 3.
Warrior War? No.
War. You were like
Fury
or something like that, and it was like by an offshoot studio. It was completely different, and then they did another one that was like a top-down twin stick shooter, where it's like, okay, what's happening?
So this Avalanche Avalanche Software, excuse me, not to be confused with Avalanche Studios, which has did Rage 2 and Mad Max, which honestly they should have done this.
Yeah.
No, so this Avalanche software is known for games like Cars 3, Driven to Win,
Hmm.
Disney Infinity, Toy Story
Well,
3, but
now,
also Rampage 2 Universal Tour.
oh, interesting. We talked about that on our last Game View
I know.
podcast, Rampage.
Yeah.
The I think it's the Disney Infinity is interesting because that was a very ambitious undertaking at the time whenever it came out because it was part of like it was the same like it was like Skylanders and
Did it come out before Amiibos?
no, Amiibos were first. This
Okay.
was like they came out with Disney Infinity to be like, oh, this is also another one that you could do. And then there was also Skylanders was like the Sony version was like, oh, we also have that. And
Right.
it was pretty good. Like from what everyone
I
says,
heard
like
I heard it was pretty good, but
it,
like it's also yeah.
yeah, it's hard to whenever you have like it's like, oh, it's a toy also and a thing that you use to
Yeah.
put more people in the game. So it's tough. It's tough whenever it's not the '90s anymore. You can't just make a cool controller and then make a cool commercial and then have us all go buy GI Joes or Crossfire.
Although you could. Oh man, you'll get caught up in the crossfire.
Yeah,
I had a crossfire. It was awesome.
of course you did. Of course
Not
you
as
had it.
awesome as the commercials.
The
said it
commercials
was.
was like there was a stadium full of people and
Yeah.
you'll get caught up in the
Crossfire.
instead
Yeah,
you're just sitting on the other side shooting marbles at a spinny disc and at a fidget spinner in the middle of a
Yeah,
in the middle of a
yeah,
thing.
it was great.
But
Anyways,
yeah.
so like, in summary, cautiously optimistic. I wouldn't be surprised if it's hot garbage. It's been like the best selling game on Steam for like the last 2 weeks.
Oh, because it's
It's on pre-order.
it's on pre-order right now.
Yep.
Hashtag guys.
Hashtag
listen.
don't pre-order shit.
Hashtag no pre-orders. We've been over this. Don't do it because you gotta wait. You gotta let people.
They're not going to run out of software keys.
If listen, they if NFTs could be a thing, they have enough software keys for everybody. All right.
Yeah.
I've got this monkey picture that I made 6 of. Here, spend $5 million. It's going to be worth $2 in 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Great.
I am excited. I am still excited for Company of Heroes 3.
Of course, who wouldn't be?
Squad-based
Comcast.
squad-based combat in World War II, but with I believe they're adding like overworld map stuff, kind of like Total War-esque. They're also a Sega company, so they might be taking some notes from their sister company. Looking forward to it.
Very nice. Very tight. Very cool. Very tight. Very nice. And then also you have maybe a new edition of 40K.
So yeah, so we're in kind of a weird spot of rules for 40K.
Mhm.
They just kind of released some new updates to like point values for the individual units, specifically for Space Marines, but also some of the rules for building your army.
Okay.
As well as kind of getting to the end of the cycle of updating rules for each individual army. So they just finished the Codex. The Codex is like the specific rule book for an army. So for this one's Astra Militarum, which is basically old Imperial Guard. They changed the name because of copyright stuff.
Right. That'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there's only like 1 or 2 armies left that are both, I think, new that are probably going to be coming out, and then they won't have any codexes to release anymore. So then it's expected that the new edition would drop.
That's the new edition stuff.
Yeah, so probably people are thinking sometime in the like late summer.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so I have mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, it's nice to kind of get like a refresh, but on the other hand, it sucks to have to pay money to get that refresh.
Right. That's that's kind of that's like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that I always feel where it's like they come out with new, with new supplements or new books and things like that. And you're like, it's like, I want to know all the things, but I have to buy these books to know all the things.
Right. And I have perfectly good books at home.
Yeah.
We've got books at home.
The books at home.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, yeah. I don't know. It does feel like especially playing competitively, it can be a rat race sometimes.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
But I mean, you've been doing pretty good at your
I do okay.
competition stuff
Yeah,
recently.
like I can do well at a small tournament or do middle of the pack in a big tournament. So I'm
Nice.
okay. I
That's
do
what you're
okay.
looking for.
It's better than when I started for sure, which is
Chris,
good.
Do you read? Are you a reader?
I do. I am a reader.
I have a book series to recommend to you. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I'm going to
You
recommend that.
yeah, you
I
mentioned
mentioned
that
it
to me.
last time.
Yeah.
I'm on the fourth book in the series now.
Okay.
It is just wonderful,
I
um,
just don't.
and it has made me want to get back into dungeon mastering because it's giving me a lot of ideas. Yes, Gray,
Nice.
it is so good. Especially because it was the guy wrote it in like on that I forget what site it was, but like on one of those writing websites where he publishes like a chapter at a time. So he would just like do that and then he published all of them as books and they're just great. And they're still contemporary and the characters are really likable. And if you're a gamer, hashtag and you're if you're a gamer in quotes, then it really is like written for us. So
Apparently,
it's good.
I already rented it on or got it for free on
Nice.
on
Nice. Kindle Unlimited.
yeah. So I
Hell
just need
yeah.
to send I need to send it to my Kindle.
Hell yeah, baby. Do it. But that's made me want to DM again. So
That's awesome.
I'm setting up a new campaign right now. I'll give you a little taste of it. Apocalypse Bringer Monogma is good too, Gray says. So we'll look that up
Hmm.
because I haven't heard that one either. But um, the premise of my new Dungeons and Dragons campaign is basically uh, a dungeon master named Daniel Roth.
Mhm.
Has invited some of his friends over to play, very much like a Glass Onion situation, or like he's invited friends over to play a game, and it's a
Mhm.
new tabletop RPG he's created because he found a book at a small bookstore called the Doomonomicon Ex Mortis that he's used to create this new world. So I'm having my adventurers not create. They're not making like characters within a fantasy world. They're making human characters with like human flaws and like human ideals, like just regular people kind of
Uh-huh.
thing. And then I just said, okay, and then tell me if you want like a specific type of character once you're in this world, let me know, and then we can put that in there. Otherwise, I'm just going to give you one whenever we go in, and that's
So
going to be your
kind of
person.
like the new Jumanji
Yeah, they're
ones.
getting Jumanji'd basically.
Sick.
And then so they basically just get sucked into this world and then they'll have to like exist as the and try and find their way out of it.
That's cool.
It's called Trapped in Doomland. So I'm
Very
working on it
cool.
right now.
Well, it's impressive that you do so much homebrew.
I really
So
enjoy I really enjoy making collaborative. This is what I've noticed about myself. I don't like D&D so much because of battles. I don't like the fighting aspect as much as I like the storytelling aspect. Like I'm a much bigger fan of tabletop of TTRPGs that are collaborative storytelling like Monster of the Week versus like straight up
a me
numbers.
versus you.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
like the numbers and rolling dice over and over again. I'm like, make things happen, make decisions, create a world. So that's what
Yeah,
this is going to be.
I mean I agree. I think it's more of a it's a like a
Mechanical.
mechanism of storytelling and more of less of a game where you're competing against
Right.
each other. And I
Right.
think a lot of people when they first start playing D&D don't see it as that. They see it as a game and not a collaborative storytelling
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It becomes a you versus the DM, which is sometimes fun, sometimes it's like not as fun, you know?
sure.
Like and it depends on like how much it's like it's part of why being a dungeon master, if anyone were to ever ask my advice on being a dungeon master, which they haven't, but if they ever did, I would
Don't do
say,
it. No.
just make sure you know the type of people that you're playing with, you know,
Right.
and what type of are they going to be like, yes, they just want to fight stuff all the time, or no, they don't want to do that. They do want to like have a storytelling aspect of it too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. But Dead Space is coming out again. I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah.
In a little bit. Like I kind of want to see what they do to make it.
But also like I've played the old one relatively recently. It was fine.
Now, here's the thing though,
It's still
Chris.
good.
Remember how they came out with the remakes of Resident Evil 2, Resident
Sure.
Evil 3,
Sure.
and they're coming out with a Resident Evil 4 remake,
Sure.
and how those were basically completely different games.
Sure.
Do you think that's going to be what Dead Space is going to be like, or is it just going to be like, ooh, fancy?
I don't know. What has it been billed as? Is it supposed to be a new, like, is it just kind of like making it prettier, or
Apparently,
kind of
it's
bringing
new.
references
Apparently, it's different. Like apparently, it's
new?
like new. It's going to be the same but different. Like very much the way I'm thinking it's going to be very much like the way RE2 remake was, where it's like
Okay.
it's the same. It's like I remember all this stuff, but all the stuff is different. You know.
Sure.
So keeping the highlights, losing the lowlights. Boom. Resident Evil 4. Are you excited for the Resident Evil 4 remake that's coming out?
I do like Resident Evil 4 a lot.
So that I'm going to be interested to play. So that's one of the things I'm excited about, just because I do like it. I downloaded the RE2 remake on my PlayStation again, so I could play that through again. I'm also excited.
The new Jedi
Survivor.
Is that Jedi Fallen Orders?
It's just called Jedi Survivor, is what it's called.
So it's Jedi Fallen Order and then Jedi Survivor. But like it's the same.
It's the same universe. Like you still play Cal Kestis. And he's noticeably older. Like you could see when you look at it, you're like, oh, he's not a kid anymore. Like he's he's an adult. He's got scruff. His hair's more well done. It's not like, it's not like real slicked back. Instead, it's like kind of grizzly and very cool looking. He looks cool. He's a cool Jedi. Nice. So I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed Fallen Order. And I love Star Wars. I just posted into Goofin some Funko Pops that I got for Christmas.
Ooh.
It is 3 separate Funko Pops that you put together to make the Duel of the Fates. It's Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul.
Nice.
And they are very cool.
You only have half the Darth Maul model? Or does it come in half?
No. It is a full. It's a mid Duel of the Fates. So he's still one entire person.
Does he have 1 or 2 bits on his lightsaber?
He's got two. It's double-sided lightsaber. He's still, because Qui-Gon's on the back and Obi-Wan's on the front, so he's doing like the
nice.
The
point where in that fight where he like had the one come out and then the other one came out.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
That was the coolest thing that's ever happened in cinema as far as Star Wars is concerned.
Well, really, any cinema.
I mean, whenever we were just like, then it was like, we were like, oh no, 2. There's 2 sides.
You're allowed to have 2.
You can have 2.
No one said you can have 2.
And then in Jedi Fallen Order, then they're like, oh, guess what? You could break it in half. And you just, well, it's the two sabers, whatever you're doing now.
That'd be pretty cool, too. I mean, that is pretty cool, too. I mean,
it was. I'm excited because Alan Wake 2 is supposed to come out this year.
You're big into Alan Wake.
I loved Alan Wake. That game was...
I could use for an Alan Wake remaster because that one was a little janky.
It's a little janky now if you try and play it, because you can still play it. It's just janky.
I've tried. I think after I played Control, I tried to play it,
and
because they're in the same universe. But
yeah, but it's tough. It's hard to play. So the new one is supposed to come out this year. We still don't have a lot of information about it. It's on schedule for this year. Remedy is also talking about doing sequels to Control too, but those aren't going to come out this year. I think they've codenamed it Condor. But
think what else is coming out?
There's a lot of stuff coming out this year. I will say there are a lot of like.
Did I say Starfield already.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
I
Starfield.
don't.
Mostly because it means that we're going to be that much closer to Elder Scrolls 6.
That's
And,
true. That's true.
maybe I get to play that before I die. I don't know.
Yeah, once Starfield comes out, that means that they can have a dedicated. Their team doesn't have to work on Starfield anymore, and they can work on
That's right.
Elder Scrolls 6.
No, but I mean, this is the first game they've come
Mm-hmm.
out with, like, Bethesda Softworks proper has
Mm-hmm.
come out with since fucking Fallout 4.
That's true. It's been a while.
And that was like,
It's been a
that
while.
was Fallout 4 8 years ago?
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was 8 years ago. That was the last game they came out with. It was 8 years ago.
Ooh. And that one wasn't even
Imagine
the best of the Fallout games.
People have been there, had a long career, and have left.
Have
since
left
they put out.
have left the building since then. No longer. So yeah, I mean, but Starfield's supposed to be pretty good. They keep talking about it like it's like some crazy like.
It's gonna be the same
It's gonna be the same. It's
Fucking
gonna be.
garbage.
It's gonna be like
UI or not
it's gonna
UI,
be like
but-
Outer Worlds again, but cleaner. You know.
I actually hope they don't have as much cheeky,
I don't think they will.
like, because then it would basically just be Fallout in space.
See, that's what I think. It's like I think that this is going to be like, it's like the Skyrim versus Fallout. I think this is going to be like the Skyrim of.
I want this to be this like
Like
Skyrim is to Mass Effect.
Yes, yeah, kind of, yeah. It'll be just like that. Gray says Zelda. Are we excited for the Breath of the Wild sequel to come out?
Yeah, I might say something a little bit controversial here. Looking back on Breath of the Wild, I don't know if it was as good as I thought it was. Maybe I have to play it again. But
So it's called Tears of the Kingdom. That's what it's
Right.
called.
but like the fact that it didn't have like full dungeons kind of bothered me. I really liked all the dungeons in the old one, and like them only having kind of
That
the
was-
four.
That was kind of the draw, wasn't it? Like it's like you have an overworld, but there's also like these crazy dungeons you go into that are all different.
You mean like in the originals?
Yeah,
Or
in all the Legend of Zelda games. Yeah.
Right. Whereas this one didn't really have that as much, and I kind of missed that.
The thing I think that, and I don't know, I guess I'm excited. It's hard to be excited about it because sometimes with Nintendo, this is one that feels like it's been pushed back a bunch and a bunch and a bunch. So,
And like I'm sure it's going to be like, so I was kind of like, until Elden Ring was like on my plate, I wasn't really paying, like I was excited for it for sure, but like I was more excited for Warhammer.
yeah, I wasn't like pee my pants excited, you know.
And then I played it and I was like, holy fuck.
Then I peed my pants because I was.
And then I
excited
peed my pants like
Yeah.
constantly for a while,
for a long time.
for longer than you should pee your pants, and you should
Yeah.
probably go to a doctor.
Yeah,
to pee
you
your
should,
pants
if you're
up.
peeing your pants that much, you should call a doctor. But it's did you ever do the DLC for Breath of the Wild?
I didn't know.
Me neither.
Because I was kind of like, I got enough out of it. That was good.
I never finished it. Because I didn't want the game to end, so I just kept doing
Also,
other
yeah, I
stuff
was kind of in the same spot.
until I was like I
Um,
just never beat Ganon, you know.
Yeah.
So
I was there. Like I was literally like kind of wandering. I was gonna get the Hyrule Shield,
Mhm.
and then I was gonna go beat Ganon, but I was like kind of delaying my getting the Hyrulean Shield. But
Gray says the DLC is actually really good, so maybe we'll have to do
I've heard
that.
it's cool. Like you get a bike and stuff, and like you kind of relives. I believe you relive some of the old champions' memories a little bit more.
Oh,
And stuff. So
interesting.
it's I think it's cool, but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a straight like. If it's Breath of the Wild 2, I don't know if I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, like what's going to be different? That's kind of with the sequel
Especially
game.
since Elden Ring pushed the envelope of that,
Right.
I feel like a little bit.
Right. I feel like, and that's kind of where we are with sequels now. There's a lot of sequels. There's a lot of sequel games. And if you don't do something that is noticeably different, if it's just more of the same thing, people get mad.
Well,
Because,
and like we were talking about Company of Heroes. Company of Heroes 1 and 2 were basically the same.
yeah. Yep. And then, so 3, better be
So
different, or Chris is gonna
yeah,
not pee his pants, and
yeah, I
we
want
don't.
to. I've drank a bunch of stuff.
I'm
I'm
re-
ready to pee my
I'm
pants.
ready to pee my pants, man. Just let me pee my pants. Let me pee my pants. Um. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. He said solid extra content that doesn't detract from the story. Gray says. So we'll have to see if we could check that out. There is a lot of stuff that's coming out this year.
Space
Noticeably,
Marine 2 is coming out,
Space Marine 2's coming out.
which is rad.
I'm just gonna go through.
I don't think anyone was like expecting there to be another one of those. So the fact that that's coming out is cool.
Yeah, because
Um,
the Dead Space remake comes out this month. It's supposed to come out on the 27th.
oh man,
Um,
there's already another Bayonetta thing coming out.
I feel like isn't it like a spin-off game?
Yeah, it's Bayonetta Origins.
Okay.
I think it's like kind of a side scrolly, like or like 2.5D type
Yeah.
thing.
The Last of Us comes to PC in March.
Octopath
Uh,
Traveler 2.
That's going to be pretty interesting. Um, I'm excited. In April there is the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Did you ever play the Mega Man Battle Network games?
Honestly, I haven't really played any Mega Man games.
It's different from the regular Mega Man games. It's more of a like tactical.
Was this on Game Boy Advance?
It was on Game Boy Advance.
I think I downloaded them and played them a tiny bit on like an emulator.
And then Dead Island 2 comes out in April also.
Interesting.
Because Dead Island was the original of like the what oh my god, Dying Light was.
Hmm.
It was Dead Island was like the original one, and then people broke off of that project to create Dying Light, and then this is like, and then they had like Dead Island something Shores or like something.
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League
Oh, that's right. That comes out in May.
by Rocksteady, which is the good studio.
That's the one we like. We're gonna have to
The one we do
see.
like.
We're gonna have to see what that
could be
is.
good.
Oh, hey,
Could be good.
Diablo 4 comes out in June.
Yeah, I was thinking about mentioning that, but also Final Fantasy 16.
It feels like the Final Fantasies are coming out. This is a common complaint right now among Square Enix heads, where there's too many Final Fantasies coming out too fast. You know,
fasten your seatbelts because there's another Assassin's Creed coming out this year.
what? Oh, that's
I'm
right,
just-
Mirage.
Yeah.
You know, there's sometimes whenever it's
where is that one set?
I don't know. Do we know yet? That's to be announced. I don't think that has like. I don't think there's like a date for it yet. Oh, supposedly it's a back to basics. So it's not going to be like Valhalla was, which was basically not an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it was very much I'm a Viking simulator, which totally fine if you're into being a Viking, but not an Assassin's Creed game. Said it's smaller Assassin's Creed title, reminiscent of older titles, being more linear and story focused. Set in Baghdad.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's
So yeah,
cool.
so then that would kind of be more of like the original Assassins
Yeah,
like guild kind of stuff. My buddy Gray says my buddy just found Diablo 1 still in its wrapping for PC. Don't open it.
yeah, don't.
Sell that on the internet for money.
Yeah,
Or
that's
like
pretty cool, though.
put it in a collection. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like very hesitant to say much about
I,
Diablo
I,
4. I love Diablo so much.
I do. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know anymore. They're taking all of the things that we love and turning them into
And,
ways
like,
to make more
I
money.
played a little bit of Overwatch 2, and it's like it's still Overwatch, and they added some new maps, which are and like new game modes, which are cool.
Yeah, but I mean,
Also, it feels real grody that like you can't
It's
even
the
have
same.
all the heroes anymore.
yeah, it's the same game.
Especially as someone who like I owned the game.
Yeah.
I paid $40 for that game, and I can't have like all of it now.
Well, you should be able to.
I have all my skins and stuff, but
I was
don't
gonna
have,
say, yeah.
I don't have the new characters.
Oh, that's right. Because in order to unlock the new characters, you have to do the battle pass thing,
Yeah,
where it's like you have to get all the way to the top, which is very terrible.
Well, and it's like a pretty tough amount of, like, you have to do a bunch of stuff.
It's almost impossible to get. You have to spend money in order to get.
Kind of like how it was with Battlefront 2.
Yeah. So don't. So people, if you're playing Overwatch, stop giving them money, so that they don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Hi, Pip.
Bummer.
Pip's here.
I bought this cool hat at MagFest also. Which
Oh, what's it say? I can't read it from here.
says MagFest.
Nice. I love it. Music and Gaming Festival. I'm really glad you got to be there. And Allison was there, and Fee was there, so you got to see them.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, Pip, one of your besties works at Blizzard.
I hope they're doing well there.
I hope they're okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so 2023.
And also,
it's going to be a good year or a bad year for gaming? And do you think it's going to be better than last year for gaming?
Well,
Do you think it's going to be better than February last year for gaming?
I was going to say February was so good for last year.
I think Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West came out that month too.
It did.
Wild.
Like February, I think February made it so this year for gaming. There's
It was like February and then God of War.
Because you know what else? Didn't Resident Evil 8 also came out last year?
Did it? Was that last year?
Was that
we
last
got
year?
stepped on for the first time? Well, not the first time, but
like didn't, because that also didn't happen. Pep, I'm glad you're here. I miss you.
No, it came out in May 2021.
It came out in May 2021. Okay, so I was yeah.
Man, COVID times are weird.
I know, it's my brain. Like time has no meaning. Is it gonna be? That's such a hard question to ask.
Last year was one of the best video games.
Last year slapped so hard.
Well, because it was probably just like so many games got delayed during the beginning of COVID.
The
they
pandemic.
all just got released at the same time.
That is very interesting. Valheim
came out
last year. That was cool too. Valheim did come out last year. Or did Valheim come out 2 years ago?
I think it came out 2 years ago, but it was a big... Yeah, Pip, we were just talking about
Raft.
We
were talking about Raft because...
I played a little bit earlier this week.
But I don't think 2023... Yeah, they teased Metroid 4. They keep... Well, yeah, because they scrapped whatever they had for Metroid 4 and they had to restart it. Like, they started Metroid 4.
Dread came out.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 2023 will not be as good as 2022. I think it's going to be okay.
I think that's safe.
I think it's going to be okay. The only stipulations I'll say is that if Tears of the Kingdom freaking slaps, if like whatever they do,
yeah.
I don't have high hopes for Hogwarts.
I'm cautiously optimistic. We were talking about this earlier also. It's not the biggest studio that's doing it. They've done some kind of cool stuff, but they haven't done anything like this.
And I also think it's hard to be like, I just think Wizards is hard. I just think Wizard stuff is tough to do because it's so like up in the air. So I think the entire year depends on if the games that
and if Starfield's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if his Starfield is as good as Skyrim is.
Right. If the games that we are toting as being like possibly, and it's kind of like because we live in this world where we don't have any specifics about like what it's going to be. We don't know. Like no one knows what it's going to be until it comes out. So if Starfield, Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, and Hogwarts Legacy slap Horde, if they slap Horde,
then it could be a better year.
Then it could be a better year.
We knew Elden Ring was going to be real good.
We knew Elden Ring.
We didn't know it was going to be as good as it was.
We thought it was going to
Like,
be good, but then it was
great.
unbelievable. Like it was wildly good. Yes, Peppa Pig. I
Peppa
saw
Pig
it.
World Adventures. Yes.
I did see that, and I was gonna mention it.
And like we knew God of War was going to be good. We knew Horizon Zero Dawn was going to be good.
You know,
Or at least like solid.
Yeah,
Like,
it was gonna be solid. Because I'm not a fan of the Horizon Zero Dawn series.
I know you're
But
not. I know you're not.
It's just I am not a fan of the Ubisofting of.
The Ubisoft adventure formula.
Yeah, it's too.
It is the best of that formula.
It really does the most things good about it, but it's so much crap on the screen all the time that I just don't want to see it. You know.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't play Valhalla. Because there was so much crap on the screen all the time.
Yeah, I played it some, but I couldn't really kick all the way through
I
it.
tried, and it was so janky and just.
Well, I had a good time with it, but yeah, I there was just too much stuff. I was done.
Pip needs a new survival game, she says.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Speaking of which, we're gonna end. So that'll be our final question. Is 2023 going to be as good as 2022 or better? I'm going to say tentatively no.
Yeah. It could be, but it probably won't.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris, do you have any New Year's resolutions for your gaming in 2023?
Drink better beer on the podcast, or more diverse beer on the podcast.
Well, I think that's going to be our podcast resolution.
Keep playing in tournaments and get better.
Okay.
Do better than I did this year, and just looking around at all the stuff around me. Talk less about Warhammer Total War 3, I
guess. That's a good one. That's a good
I'm not
one.
going to play it less, but I want to talk about it.
I'm going to talk about it less. My new beers resolution is going to be, same one, the podcast version, drink better, more beers. Second one is I want to play more board games and more creative things. Because there's a lot of board games that I see that I'm like, I want to play this, or like games that I have.
I just saw a Tetris board game and it looks so cool.
There's a lot of them out there. I haven't seen that one, but there's a bunch that are like color based, or like just are interesting ideas where I'm just like, I really want to play that, and then we just don't. Like we have them. Like I have games too.
We should go to PAX.
We should.
PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, which I think we missed. I think that already happened.
Well, no, it's in December.
Oh, it's in December? Well, this year, you mean?
Or the end of November, yes.
Yes, yeah. We can try and make that happen this year. Because Hannah would like that one. So, yeah. Be into more creative.
Be more diverse.
Be more diverse in like my board gaming stuff. With video games, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep playing.
You've been pretty good job with being diverse on those. Much better than I am.
I do my best, but I also do play a lot of Fortnite. I play a lot of Fortnite, Chris. Like a pretty decent amount of Fortnite. But Fortnite keeps getting better. Yes, I love tabletop board games too. Chris, I did download on Tabletop Simulator the Dark Souls board game. So some point, I'm going to read through the giant instruction book so we could try it.
I'd love that.
It will be.
There's I think I told you there's also the Bloodborne card game.
No. Yes, you did tell me about that, and I need to look that up too.
Mm-hmm.
Collectible card game, Bloodborne collectible card game.
I think it's a deck builder.
It's a deck building.
I could be wrong.
Board game, maybe. I don't know, but we'll look it up. But what we're going to do now is we're going to end the podcast portion of tonight's podcast, and then we're going to play some. I have to check to make sure the server is still running. But we're going to play some Sky Factory. So, Pip, if you're into doing any Sky Factory stuff in Minecraft,
let us know. Well, we can
I'll give you all the server information for it in CurseForge. But we're going to end the podcast version of tonight's by first saying all the things, which is if you are listening to this, not watching it, and you want to go and you want to hang out with us or see what we talk about or any of that kind of stuff, go to bit.ly/discobrew. If you want to send us any messages, you can email them to us at thegamebrew@gmail.com. I do check those emails. Podcasts will be up. The next episode of the Game View podcast, which we do.
What are we watching?
We don't know yet because I forgot to post the thing. But the listen, when I do all the stuff,
it's two bad ones too. It's Dead or Alive, and what was the other terrible? One? The Super Mario Bros.
It's movie. Between Dead or Alive and the Super Mario Brothers movie. So I'm going to post that.
Both awful.
Both really bad. For different reasons. And Pip, I will send you that info. So I think that's it. And we're going to end the podcast by saying what we usually do whenever we say we end the podcast version, which is good night,
everybody.